Zach Charbonnet rushed for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns, as 12th ranked UCLA overwhelmed Stanford 38-13 at the Rose Bowl on Saturday night. Good evening. I'm James with Faithful Angelino Sports with a rapid recap of Bruins football. And if you enjoy talking about UCLA, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We absolutely talk about the Bruins here. Now, I'm not trying to claim I know everything about football, but I do record previews of both UCLA and UCLA's games. And judging from the stats that I had seen before, I basically said that as long as UCLA establishes a run, and by the way, that is literally their forte, the Cardinals have extreme difficulty in stopping the run. I mean, UCLA's Zach Charbonnet alone leads the conference in rushing. So establish the run, and the game was a wrap. And that's exactly what UCLA did, with one exception to that equation. Stanford got the ball first, and they briefly led because Joshua Kelly kicked a field goal to end the first possession of the game. So UCLA takes over, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson caps that ensuing possession with a 3-yard touchdown. UCLA, after that opening field goal, scored 24 unanswered points, to show you what I was talking about. Now look, Thompson-Robinson, he passes for 199 yards. He rushes for 50 more. And I know that doesn't sound that impressive, but he just wasn't needed as much as he would be needed in other games. The recipe to beat Stanford was just that simple. Charbonnet was needed more. In each of Stanford's 3 wins this year, the Cardinals held the opposing team to under 160 yards of rushing. UCLA had 153 yards rushing in the first half. They rushed for 324 in the game as a whole. So keep in mind, Stanford knows this. They know their own weaknesses. So even though they're down just 7-3, Stanford already probably felt that they were up against it. And as such, they took some risks. One blew up right in their face. Tanner McKee, he threw a pretty bad interception. They tried to run a play-action pass, but Bruins linebacker Darius Massow didn't fall for the fake. He stayed disciplined. He stayed in his lane, and McKee basically threw the ball right into his stomach. One of the easier interceptions that guy will ever have in his life. And on the very next play, Charbonnet rushed for a 23-yard touchdown, the first of his 3. The game is basically barely 10 minutes old, and even then it felt like it was all over. Now, Stanford had a 2-game winning streak that ended with a loss. They are now 3-5 overall, 1-5 in conference, and that's probably going to end any shot that they even could consider for getting into a bowl game this year. Stanford didn't even get a TD until late in the fourth quarter. McKee tossed a 2-yard touchdown to Benjamin Urasek. But here's the other thing that UCLA should take heed in. They are 12th ranked. 2 teams in the top 10 lost today. So they might have a shot at cracking the top 10 once again. The Bruins are 7-1 overall, 4-1 in conference. Now Charbonnet also led the Bruins with 5 catches for 61 yards. Casimir Allen rushed for 66 yards and a touchdown. Now, as for next week, the Bruins will be playing at Arizona State on November 5th. So, to repeat, Charbonnet scores 3 touchdowns, leading the Bruins to a 38-13 victory over Stanford, and possibly leading the Bruins back into the top 10. If you enjoyed this rapid recap, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelinos. We do talk UCLA here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelinos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.